Alright, I'm here playing some Black Ops 3 modded. I'm playing this Toten. It's one of the first modded maps that really showed what mod tools can do. It's kind of like the stepping stone to be like, hey, look, you guys have to do better than this. Because that first maps were coming out, they're really nasty and ugly, and they weren't too good looking, but this was one of the first ones I was like, oh, dude, this is really good. This looks like an actual map that Shark could release and stuff. So we're here today to talk about World War II zombies, the new one, because there is two World War II zombies. I'm going to be mentioning them both today. So there's the old World War II, and then there's the new World War II. So that just try to keep up and pay attention which one I'm talking about. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about what the new World War II needs to do in order to have a successful zombies season. So what they need to do is basically just stick to this formula. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This is the formula they got to keep up with in order to have a good successful zombies game or season. Yeah, season. Don't worry, it's not a complicated formula, but the way we got this formula is from the past Call of Duties, alright? So we start with the original World War II. That one just kind of paved the way, the foundation. So the foundation is basically, you know, you gotta have this creepy vibe, slow but creepy vibe to zombies. And then from there, what that did is you can have some futuristic stuff, but not too much of a real futuristic that it like takes away from the eerie vibe. So this is like a nice eerie vibe we got going on here. But you can't take away the eerie vibe with like technology and stuff. So there is some technology accepted, like the pack-a-punch, but that doesn't help you for too long, and it doesn't take away that much. And, you know, and there's a whole storyline to it too. So the storyline really just helps a lot, even though the storyline confuses a lot of people. But that's okay because it keeps the more experienced players into the game because they get to do other stuff than to just play zombies. Alright, so the vibe is very important because in the past we've seen Sledgehammer Games also came out with the zombies, but I heard they didn't design it. I heard Sledgehammer designed a multiplayer Advanced Warfare, and that Raven designed the zombies, the exo zombies. So you saw that too much technology is not too good, because the zombies are supposed to be crazy and creepy and all that. They're not supposed to be just like super human zombies, like just jump at you and have all these crazy abilities and all that. You know, it's too much. It's, you know, like maybe like a boss here and there, but different types of weird zombies is not good. It just kills the immersion of the eerie vibe. I was talking about that foundation. You need that foundation in there. And then we have the next zombies that kind of failed, which was last year's, what was it? Was it Advanced War? I get confused. Infinite Warfare. Their zombies was too cartoonish. It didn't feel that creepiness vibe. Like I said, the foundation has to be creepiness. And the way World War I did it, or World War II did it, the original World War II. So you have to have that base, not too much. Oh, another thing that the zombies did wrong in Infinite was it was too easy. You cannot make zombies too easy. I'm gonna tell you why. The new people will love it because it's easy, and they're gonna feel like mediocre players. And then the experts will just find it way too easy and too boring. The mediocre players will also find it way too easy and too boring. And then once the easy players become mediocre players, or they think they're mediocre players, they'll find it boring and then just leave. You need something that challenges people, like something like in the past, like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. It's pretty challenging, you know, to get to be a mediocre player. You can't just let the new players be kind of like mediocres right off the bat. You gotta give them a chance to become mediocre players so they can strive to be experts, because very few people do become expert players, and we got to just keep that going like that, so the expert players can then come out of those mediocre players and show the mediocre players how to do the Easter eggs, and then the noobs can then want to become mediocre. You can't just have it way too easy, and then no one's going to want to progress. No one's going to want to get better at the game because the game's too easy. You're always going to want to get better. So that's the thing that Infinite Warfare did really bad. They made it way too easy. So World War II Zombies, don't make it easy, please. Make it nice and hard for the expert players and hard for the mediocre, because the mediocre players will want to go ahead and try to be like the experts, and then the noobs will try to be like the mediocre players and all that good stuff. So that is that. Call of Duty, that's what it needs to do to be successful. Well, World War II, the new one. And it looks like they're, from what I've seen, it looks like it has the foundation, you know, the vibe. I haven't played it, so I can't tell you whether it's easy or hard or anything like that. But for the expert players, what it has to have in there is a challenging Easter egg for the expert players. And that also gets the mediocre players all riled up and like, ooh, what's going on? You know? So they have to have a pretty hard Easter egg and a pretty good storyline, because we've seen from Advanced Warfare that if they don't have a storyline, people, the expert players, wouldn't just not be interested in it. Just be kind of, you know, bored of the game and kind of be like, oh, now I gotta solve this boring Easter egg. Or they find the Easter egg and they're like, oh, that wasn't worth it. I just spent a lot of my time and got this shit Easter egg. So you gotta keep them interested. Gotta keep them hooked in the story. And a lot of people have it early, and that's mostly because they gotta, you know, their brand, they gotta keep their brand name, because a lot of times if they release it to the YouTubers at the same time as regular people are just going to take their names and pose as these people. So, you know, you got to get their names in there, make sure they pick out their names, get them before they can't, and also, let's see, also they need to create content for us and, you know, promote the video. That's why they have it early, is for promotion. Kind of like just free promotion. Just go out and promote the video for us. Yeah? And they're like, oh, dude, I love it. Of course. So yeah, those are my thoughts on World War II Zombies and what it needs to do to be successful. So I'm going to quickly recap. It needs to have the solid foundation of creepy era vibe. Can't be too easy. And there has to be a good storyline and a good progression system. Black Ops 3 nailed the progression system. I really liked it. The prestiges and all that. If it has all that, customization as well is a big part. And nowadays, back then, not a lot of people really cared, but now it's like customization, a big part. So that's what it needs to do to be a really good, successful Call of Duty season, and each map needs to do this. You know, it can't just be the first one. There's always going to be a fan favorite, and there's always going to be a fan, like a community favorite and a community dislike and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean like it's the worst. It just means that, like this season for Black Ops 3, or last season for Black Ops 3, what was the fan favorite? It was hard to tell, but from the 4, not from Chronicles. The fan favorite was, oh, actually, it's difficult to tell, huh? Revelations was more for like the experts and stuff. Wasn't really too much for like noobs or anything, or medium players. Let's see, what was the fan favorite? I think I want to say. Should I say it? I want to say, what was the fan? The Rise and Drock. I want to say Rise and Drock was probably a fan favorite. Gotta get back here. The Rise and Drock, and then Shinonuma. Oh, was it Shinonuma? No, it wasn't Shinonuma. The Forestry one. I'm brain farting right now. Or it was Zetsubo. Zetsubo was the community. Like, no one really liked that one because it was super difficult. But a lot of expert players didn't like it as well, but some people really did enjoy that map. You know? The people that really like that challenge enjoyed the map. So they do that, they'll be fine. We'll have a pretty good season. I hope we have a good zombie season. if it's not a good zombie season, I'm gonna tell you guys. So I'm gonna come up with a reaction of how it's doing and all that good stuff, and what I think of it probably in about, I want to say 2 or 3 days. You know, you got to give it some time, because you do get a feel for it, but you don't want to be, you don't want the moment to get in the way, because like, if you're in the moment, you're gonna be like, oh, this is the best map ever, and then later you're gonna be like, it's okay, you know. So you got to kind of give it that time, and it might change. The opinion might change over time. Like, it might be the best, or one of the, or the, not like necessarily the worst, but because it looks true to the formula, and should be a good season. Hoping the maps that they release with it are either as good or better, not worse than the one that they release. I don't think there's ever been something like that, where things just get progressively worse and worse and worse. It's just been kind of just bad. Like, the first map was bad, and then all of the maps are bad and stuff like that. So that's where I leave you guys. Till next time, peace out.